Shalom, this is the fourth video on Sefer Vayikra. We're going to look at a machlokas in Sedrat Tzav, in Pilichowski, Pasuk Lamed Gimel and Lamed Hey. So Pilichowski, Pasuk Lamed Gimel and Lamed Hey. And okay, let's look inside. Pasuk says as follows: When Pesach Ol Moed Lo Seitzu Shivas Yamim Ad Yom Los Yimei Miloechem Ki Shivas Yamim Yimalei Et Yadchem. That from the entrance to the Ol Moed, the Mishkan, you shouldn't leave 7 days until the end of the inauguration period. At the beginning of the Mishkan, and this is what our Ezra talks about, is the inauguration of the Mishkan. Right after they built the Mishkan, they had inauguration. And the Kohanim worked there for 7 days. Ki Shivas Yamim Yimalei Et Yadchem, the pasuk ends with, for 7 days, you shall be working with your hands, you shall fill your hands. Okay? And as we go on, we look at Pasuk Lamed Hey. Pasuk Lamed Hey says as follows: When Pesach Ol Moed Teishu Yom V'Layla Shivas Yomim Ushmartem Es Mishmaras Hashem V'Lo Samusu Kichein Tzavisi. Says that for the entrance of the Mishkan, the Ol Moed, you shall sit for day and night for 7 days, and you shall keep the shmirah, the observance of Hashem, and you shall not die, because that is what I, Hashem, commanded. Okay, that's what the pasuk says. Now, the first opinion we're going to see is the Ramban on Pasuk Lamed Hey. The Divrei HaMaschil is Pesach Ol HaMoed, right? That says you shouldn't leave for 7 days. Says the Ramban, Al das habraisa shel Toras Kohanim inyan HaPasuk hazeh shelo yetzu mePesach Ol HaMoed yomam v'layla b'shas avoda. The idea of this pasuk is that they shouldn't leave the Ol HaMoed, the Mishkan, for 7 days, day and night, at the time that they work. Kolomar, until all the work is done for those 7 days at that time, they weren't allowed to leave. Not only is this a command on the Kohanim at that time of the Mishkan, but it's a command of the Kohanim forever. Whenever the Kohanim are working in what would be the Beis HaMikdash, they weren't allowed to leave during the time that their service was being done, during the Avodah. And if they do leave in the middle, they're going to be killed by God. In fact, it's a specific pasuk by the Kohen Gadol that he's not allowed to leave. When is the Kohen Gadol and the regular Kohen not allowed to leave? During the time of the Avodah. And for the fact that you get killed, right, means that it's obviously prohibited, and that means that there's a mitzvah for them to stay all 7 days. That's the opinion of the Ramban, that they're not allowed to leave during the time of the Avodah for all 7 days, and it's a mitzvah for Kohanim going forward. The Ibn Ezra on Pasuk Lamed Gimel has a different opinion. Let's look at the Ibn Ezra. This is Pasuk Lamed Gimel. Divrei HaMaschil Yamalei Es Yadchem. Tafsar Milas Kates. There seems to be a word missing. That's the end. Where's the end that they're not allowed to leave? Kilu Omar Ki Kate Shivas Yamim. Rather, the idea is that the end of this time that they're not allowed to leave is 7 days. Ozman. Yish Omrim. There are those that said Lo Teitzu Shivas Yamim. Ubelayla Hayu Yotzim Mitzarcham. They weren't allowed to leave during the 7 nights, but during the 7 days, but during nighttime they were allowed to leave. Now he says that can't be. Rather, what's correct? They're allowed to leave at the time that they need to, if they're saying that they need to get done, both during the day and night. Okay, so that is that. So whether they have to go to the bathroom or they have to go take care of something, they're allowed to leave whenever they need to leave. Whenever they need to go to the bathroom or take care of something else, they're allowed to leave. That's the Ibn Ezra and the Ramban. Otherwise, obviously, the Ibn Ezra would say they couldn't leave. The Ramban says they weren't allowed to leave during the 7 days during the time of the Avodah. Ibn Ezra says they were allowed to leave if they had to use the facilities or something along those lines. Okay, I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Shalom.